few years ago, a married couple decided to allow themselves to relax in the evening and go to have fun in the city. They called a friend of a girl who had been sitting with their children not for the first time. When the girl arrived, 2 children were already sleeping in their beds, so she just had to sit at home and make sure that nothing happened to the children. Soon she got bored and decided to watch TV, but there was no cable downstairs, because parents did not want their children to watch any garbage. The girl called her parents and asked for their permission to watch TV. In their room they naturally agreed, but she had one more request. She asked permission to cover up a big toy clown with something. He made her nervous and creepy. For a second it was quiet in the phone, and then the father who was talking to the girl said, "Take the children," and urgently running away from home. "We don't have any clown, we will call the police." The police found all 3 dead, 5 minutes after the call. The clown was never found. 2 history. At the moment I live in an apartment alone. My wife is on a business trip. I have an ordinary 2-piece. Yesterday, after returning from work, I was terribly tired, had a quick dinner and went to the bedroom. I am a careful person and always lock the door. As soon as I touched the pillow with my head, I immediately turned off. I woke up at night from a knock in the bedroom. My wife probably came back, I thought sleepily. I looked at the clock. The numbers 2:22 froze on the dial, and then I was doused with water that my wife would return only in a week, since she called me yesterday and said she would stay for a week. Meanwhile, the knocking on the door began to intensify. I jumped up abruptly, turned on the night light. With shaking hands I grabbed a chair, and I see a shadow in the door crack. There was no light in the hallway. Suddenly the knocking stopped, and the sound of broken dishes was heard in the kitchen. Before I had time to think about it, there was another knock on the door, but this time someone was scratching at the door. It reminded me of the sound of cat nails. I didn't understand what I had to do. Then I wanted to call the police, when suddenly the lights went out. And now I'm standing with my cell phone in my hand and I see the door to the bedroom open, but it's impossible, because it was locked. A man in an ugly clown costume was standing outside the door. His crooked face broke into a kind of wide and wild smile. Yellow fangs protruded from under his lips. He looked at me with furious eyes. At the moment when I threw a chair at him and rushed at him in hand-to-hand combat, the last thing I remember is how his stinking mouth opened. I woke up on the floor in the hallway. There was a broken chair lying next to me. On the door, among the words I didn't understand, I saw only one: boring. I do not know what he wanted from me, but such games are clearly not to my taste. 3 history. The 3 boys loved watching horror movies. One day one of the boys received a parcel in the mail. There were no stamps on it, no name, no address. The boy did not know the sender, who could have sent him this package. When he opened it, he found a videotape inside. There were no stickers and inscriptions on it. He thought that his friends could make fun of him, so he invited them to his home to watch the videotape together. When they arrived, he asked them about the mysterious package, but they swore they had no idea who could have sent it to him. He invited them to come in to watch the tape. When they sat down on the sofa and pressed the play button, they were surprised by what they saw on the screen. A creepy clown appeared on the screen. He was standing in the middle of the room. In the room on the left, there was a bed and a closet on the right. He was holding 2 red balloons in his hands and looking directly into the camera. Then some creepy music started playing and the clown started dancing and jumping. He was twitching and moving around the room. All this time, a wide and sinister smile played on the clown's face. He looked insane. He behaved very strangely. The boys' friends thought the recording was very funny and they started laughing loudly. After a while, they noticed that the boy was sitting very quietly. When they turned to him, they saw that his face had become pale as a veil, and his eyes were wide open with horror. "What's wrong with you?" they asked. "Why aren't you laughing?" The boy stammered. "This is my bedroom." Hey, thrill seekers. Did these chilling stories send chills down your spine? Resist the temptation of darkness. Join our sinister community by signing up right now. Our nightmares have just begun, and we promise to show even more horror in our next videos. Plunge into the darkness and click the subscribe button. Until the next time the darkness swallows us up again.